What's up, nerds? It's Pretty Jay here, bringing you guys the commentary you have all been waiting for. This is the crazy ex-girlfriend story. Now, quick note about the gameplay. My first ever double MOAB. I got this actually right after Brody got off one night. And, yeah, so I was really stoked on this. I cheered, and actually I ran around my basement just like I did when I got my first nuke. So, yeah. Enjoy that, guys. Now, let me paint you a picture, alright? Pretty J. Lonely. Fat fuck. Pretty girl. Red hair. So, that's basically what you're going to hear for the rest, the remaining 8 minutes of this commentary. So, yeah. Basically, this happened around May 3rd of last year or so. And I was at the Calgary High School Drama Festival. So basically it's a festival where, you know, all of us nerds go and... oh man, sorry. We all go and we practice drama stuff. And it's basically like single lonely people's heaven. So I was there, and I was there with like a really good friend of mine who I was actually really into. And so we were, you know, hanging out, and we were doing a show that day, so we basically just sat in a room all day and then performed our show twice, and then, you know, went back to sitting in the room. And this girl, let's call her Crazy Ho. So now Crazy Ho is in a play that was actually right after ours, so we were in the same room all day, except for, you know, those two shows. And turns out that Crazy Ho was actually really tight with my good friend. So I was like, hey, like I knew I didn't really have a chance with my good friend, so like that's why I did this. So I go up to my friend. I was like, hey, I know you know her, so hook a brother up. And she was like, did you just call yourself a brother? You're really white. And I was like, shh, don't let her know that. So yeah, she goes over and talks and like beckons me on over, and I go and talk to Crazy Ho, and we actually we hit it off right away. Like we just had, you know, one of those instant connections where we could talk for hours, and so we're having ourselves a nice little conversation, and then I asked her for her phone number as she was like running out the door. It was like an afterthought, and then we hung out like the weekend after. And I kind of explained this in my my latest commentary, or one of my recent ones. I don't know, there are too many. So yeah, we go out on like a few pre-dates, and then we really just hit it off. And so I asked her, you know, to go out with me, like on an official date. And this was right after our first kiss, which I should mention, it was really bad. She used like copious amounts of tongue, like way too much, and she like moved way too fast to the point where I couldn't even keep up no matter how hard I tried. So that should have been my first sign that she was like crazy, but it wasn't, because I am a stupid horny boy. And so yeah, we go out on our first date, and then we end up making out, and then she throws this party, which I was invited to, but I was at work that night, so I showed up after, and and yeah, so I had a good time there. I was sober, so it wasn't, you know, that good of a time, and we kept going out for about 2 months, and it was a really nice relationship because we could talk for hours, and it was only after we stopped dating that someone pointed out to me that it wasn't we could talk for hours, it was that she could talk for hours and I could listen for hours. Like it was a totally one-sided relationship that way. It was actually really funny when I actually realized it. And so I broke up with her around in early July, I think. And then I totally booty called her like a month later, and she came over and she put her mouth around my pee-pee. And so that was, you know, exciting. It was actually like definitely the worst blowjob I've ever had. Like I texted my friend and I was like, hey, Crazy Ho just blew me, and it was like very bad. So I don't know how to think of that. And then I didn't talk to her for about, I don't know how many months, 6 months I guess, until it was my friend's birthday in March. So 7 months, and we were both invited. We ended up like sharing a room that night. We didn't bang, but she gave me a blowjob, and it was like still pretty bad. And then we didn't talk for another month or so, and then I booty called her. I guess I'm kind of the bad guy in this story, but I don't know. And then she gave me another blowjob, and it was better, I will say. It wasn't good, but it was better. Anyways, now the crazy part. So I'm talking to my one friend who actually works with her, and she said that, oh, Crazy Ho like never stops talking about you, like literally never stops talking about you, to the point where apparently like she couldn't even stand being around her because it was like over the top. And it's like, yeah, she says she loves you and all this stuff, and that was like completely over my head. I mean, it had been, at this point it had been like, yeah, 8 or 10 months after we broke up, so I never really saw that one coming. And now she'll text me like once a week and just be like, hey, how's it going? I'm so sorry for the last time we talked. Whereas like the last time we talked is her saying, hey, how's it going? And it's really weird, and it still happens to this day, where I'll get a text from her saying like, hey, how's it going? And I'll either reply and say like, hey, not bad, how are you? And then she'll like profusely apologize for pissing me off, which she hasn't really done. Like, she hasn't done much wrong, but she's just so desperate. And then it actually kind of clicked with me a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, where I said something to her, and she immediately changed her opinion. Because I do see her like way too much. Like, you know, she works with my friends, so I go in and visit them, and she's always there. And so yeah, she, like, I could literally say, oh my god, I love murdering children, and she'd be like, oh, murdering children is just the best, isn't it? And then I'd be like, no, I hate it. And she's like, oh, me too, it's so terrible. And I know that sounds super like she's completely kidding. She's not. She will just immediately change her opinion to whatever mine is, like that. It's kind of terrifying. And so yeah, she's just like this crazy desperate girl who is in love with me and never stops talking about me, and probably keeps my hair in a jar in her room. Not to judge though, my hair smells fantastic. I use like product and everything, so yeah. But yeah, moral of the story is, if a girl never shuts up, she probably gives bad blowjobs and will love you forever. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. It's kind of all over the place. Please leave a like. I'm hoping to get 150 likes on this video. You know, my first double MOAB and a crazy ex-girlfriend, like, doesn't get much better than that. Anyways, leave a comment about your craziest ex-girlfriend, and also what you want to see next from me. Peace out, guys.